itself right there.
Yep. I'm actually surprised that a lot of tournaments have re-allowed Meta Knight in general.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they flip-flopped back on it.
Yeah, they flip-flopped.
Usually when they make a decision like that, I think it's because when Brawl kind of made his resurrection, more people came out of the woodwork, and the majority of people said, no, let him stay. Yeah, because they realized there are ways you can handle him.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know there were...
he doesn't have a lot of bad matchups. I know that if Ice Climbers has good experience against Meta Knight, Ice Climbers can handle him pretty well. Zero Suit, as we've seen Salem handle at Apex a few times, he can handle the Meta Knights as well.
Nothing funner to watch than a Zero Suit Meta Knight.
Yeah, I love that matchup. I love watching that matchup.
And this is a very, very long historied matchup between these two.
Yeah, these guys have been good friends for years.
As I was saying before, I attended tournaments in the Play and Trade at Draper. They used to host these tournaments.
Yep.
And these two were part of the scene even back then, especially
that was
Chris.
What, 2008? 2007?
Yeah, I think the first one I went was in 08.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I played, I see familiar faces from there, and I fell out of the scene again. And then when I came back in, I brought in you guys, a bunch of my friends, especially this guy, and you've helped. Now you help me stay with it as well. So just find a friend and go to tournaments. It's great. It's fun.
It's fun. Even if you lose every match, you get to play games with people that you've never played before in your life.
Exactly.
You get to learn a lot. The first tournament I ever went to, I played one of the players here that just won top 6, Kenny. He taught me a lot about the matchup. Just in the short set that we played, I got more knowledge about the game than I had for the entire 6 months that I'd been practicing the game to go to a tournament in that one set.
All it takes is one good session of Smash, and you could see your skill just skyrocket up.
Yep.
Because I mean, when it comes down to it, it's all about playtime. Just like anything else,
really
it's all
is.
about playtime. Obviously, yeah, there are.
You want to learn a lot of the tech skill and everything. Go off other people's data, what they know about things that work. Learning how to DACUS, all that kind of stuff. But
if you're a gamer and you like fighting games, enough practice and pick up.
You'll learn it.
That's what's great about this game is every character is so different, so dynamic. You will find a character you enjoy to play. I promise.
Yep. And I believe a little bit of matchup history between these two. I believe that X has normally had the better of Devon in this matchup.
Well, this Sonic is hard to handle.
Yeah.
But so far, this
he's one of the best players in the Western United States. Really good bomb recovery. Really good bomb recovery.
Rule number 1 on Link or Toon Link: always have a bomb in your hand.
Yep. And that is one thing that Devon excels at. Is he is one of the most technical players out there for sure. Chris has a lot of the style. He's really into the mind games, into the jukes. You'll see him start to pull up his roll, and then he'll pull it out, run, grab you, that kind of stuff. Well, has that mind games, and Devon is really about the technical skill of the game.
Sonic's air spacing is just absolutely impeccable.
Yeah,
and that is guaranteed.
Yeah. Just like that.
Toon Link was able to DI it somehow.
Yeah, that was really solid DI by Devon.
This is looking like a bad sign for X if he DI'd that back air yet.
Yeah, Devon's putting up his wall, which Sonic has a really hard time with. Really nice reaction time by Devon right there, because that was pure reaction time on that grab.
And that comes from both him being an expert player and him having this matchup down.
Yep.
As well as you can.
Yep. And Sonic, there's a lot of speculation here, especially in Utah. That we think that Sonic is really just an underdeveloped character more than he is an actually bad character.
I was actually getting to that. We talk about the preliminary tiers for the new Brawl and everything, and while there you can look a little bit into that, within a few months, I believe those were pretty moot.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like, you can't replicate playing a game and like having expert players discover the nuances of the game. Yep. You can't, the game developers will never, they're not going to come out and be able to tell you that. You have to play it yourself.
Yep.
So, I'm going to take anything I hear with a small grain of salt.
Yeah, and as we've always talked about, me and Chris X in this matchup.
Not too much salt.
Me and him have talked about it quite a bit, and it's that Sonic really has the tools, if played correctly, to win pretty much any matchup.
Oh, he doesn't have many bad. I remember when we went to the Boulder tournament, the representative player, basically the best player from
the Falco
Colorado,
that they have.
Mr. Falco did beat him.
Yeah.
He took care of him.
Yep.
But that's because Falco is similar in that he has very few bad matchups.
Yeah, in fact, he has almost none. Almost none. Except for the ones that have infinites on him.
Sonic's able to come back, but Toon Link DIs that back air.
Yeah,
so
it's actually a really close match, even though the percent difference is about 70%. Really close matchup, because Toon Link is still in KO percent from the back air, as well as the up air.
You know, it's interesting because, especially when it comes to these matchups, it goes to show that these players kind of, they relish the challenge when they play the level of their competition.
Yep.
Because I became, he did win both games, but I came within a hard read of beating Devon both times.
Yep.
And I'm nowhere near to the skill level of these two.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that, once again.
The tournament hype is real though. Like you get into a tournament and you're on your A game.
It's true.
For sure.
Once you get in your flow, if you can win a couple games, or you
can get momentum going.
Or
it's all about
nerves
the
take
momentum.
over and you lay an egg.
Yep.
That's happened to both of us before too. It's happened to everyone. It's happened to everyone.
For sure.
There's a nice over smash read. Here we go. One stock game now.
You'll see a lot of that from Chris. He really likes the backup turnaround with the charge forward smash. Really likes to try to get that mind game up.
It's basically his only KO option besides the
down smash KOs Toon Link pretty early actually though, like 130 if you're on the edge, with decent DI.
And it's a decent mix-up because it looks similar to his charge moves.
Yeah, that's one thing about Sonic that's makes him, at least in my matchup experience against Sonic, it makes him so hard to play against is you never quite know what to expect.
It's similar to Olimar. He stands there doing something and you don't know what direction he's going to go. Olimar's the same way except for with his smash button. It's not with his momentum.
Really good read by Devon there.
Devon has control of this match, but
all
X needs is a solid 40% combo.
Really nice reaction grab on his part.
There's the back.
And that's gonna take it.
Game one.
Take it off the top. So game one goes Toon Link.
And X basically only plays Sonic. That's his one weakness. So if you can learn how to beat a Sonic,
and like we talked about, these guys have been friends for years, playing, at each other's houses. Yeah. So they know the matchup in and out from both of them.
So in case you can't feel it from where you're watching, there's a lot of emotion in this match.
Yep.
Because this is a big-ass tournament.
Yeah, lots of money on the line, guys. Lots of money on the line.
80 people. And I think it's just fantastic that Comic-Con comes to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Twice this year.
Yeah, it's been
came once last year, came again this year.
Yep.
And I know last year they had a 1v1v1v1
yeah, they didn't
free-for-all brawl.
They didn't ask any of us last year to really help with the organization of the tournament. They just kind of, the organizers of Comic-Con just decided to wing it and decide, like we're going to have a tournament. And this year I think it was Suetsu who came in and said, look,
it was either Suetsu himself or someone made the adept decision of allowing Suetsu to organize it.
Yeah, and
he's done a masterful job. So.
And he's done a really good job and everything. Knows the scene. Did a really good job with pools. That's one thing that you really have to respect in a tournament like this is the seating has to be right.
It does.
It has to be right. And so somebody who knows all of the players comes out here and kind of says, okay, these are the people that need to go in these pools, and let's get these people together that have never played together before, instead of just all of us that normally come to these tournaments coming out and playing each other again.
Exactly, because you can imagine how it is from a dedicated Brawl player to we, especially Billy, take us for instance. We come from Colorado, and we've been several tournaments here at different venues at different scales, and we come to this large-scale, excellently organized tournament, all excited, and originally, actually, we were.
Yeah, you and I were supposed to be in the same pool.
Yeah. So not only
do we have less people in our pool,
we played each other. And we played each other literally every day of our lives.
Yeah, pretty much every day.
So he rectified it though.
And which was really good because we just went to the TO and said, look, we play each other every day. What can we do? And he reorganized the pools, and there was nobody I knew in my pool.
Yeah, and
nobody I've ever played against.
And perhaps some people might look at that and stroke their chin, perhaps say it's a little bit of a rigging, and to that, that's not true because
the best players are going to win the tournament.
Exactly,
and that's the way it is. Even if we had these two in one pool, one of them would come out from the pool. And then in the top 16, if somebody who wasn't as good won their pool, they'd just get dominated in a matchup like this.
You'd essentially be wasting a tournament.
Yep, exactly.
So people, and I'm sure most people understand that, but I'm sure you get your occasional grumbler who doesn't like that, thinks they're fixed or whatever.
Yeah, it actually went through my mind a couple times on the way here. I said, I was thinking, man, I really hope that I don't get any of these guys that I play all the time in my pool. I really want to have like some new matchup experience, have some new experiences playing with different people and meeting new people, because that's one of the most overlooked things of the video game scene, in my opinion, is the social aspect of it. You learn a lot, you meet a lot of new people.
Obviously,
every time you
with
come out to
at
these
least one or two shared interests.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
So, I mean, and chances are, if you like video games, you'll be into some other form of media, and before you know it, yeah, you've made a friend.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
These are, you know, and I also love that it's starting. You can just tell by the vibe, the whole stigma of couch potato basement dweller video game players starting to vanish. People are realizing this is a legitimate channel of talent, and a channel of competitive, drive that people look for. You know, I remember when I was 12, I yearned for competition in the video game world, and we're finally starting to see where it's arriving. The opportunities are there.
Yep. Chris really taking control of this match. You see his stage control has really been solid throughout this entire match. Very interesting that he decided to counterpick Final Destination.
It was interesting. It's obviously worked out.
I was expecting maybe, I mean, Devon really likes Pokemon Stadium. I think maybe that's why Chris didn't opt to go to Pokemon Stadium.
Nice back air.
Another option that he could have run to is like Halberd. I don't know how well Sonic performs at Halberd, but I know that the stage is a lot smaller and doesn't give Toon Link a lot of opportunities to capitalize on this camping game, whereas FD is the exact opposite of that. However, Sonic does like to have the room to move around, see him flying around the map at the speed of sound.
It gives him more options, because once you start your charge, especially X, he has such a depth control of where he goes. He can stop short and juke your punish. He can go over you and try to
get
back
those
air.
mind games.
Yeah, he can do so many things out of the spin that honestly, obviously the stage selection always matters, but the stage selection doesn't matter as much with this matchup.
Yep. Stage selection is one of the more overlooked things in the Brawl competitive scene.
And that is one thing I will fully admit is Brawl's weak point is its stages.
Yeah, for sure.
The stages
were
very...
The stages in Project M are obviously much more thought out, but it is a competitive game.
Yeah, and it was...
So it takes a lot of the Brawl stages makes them better.
I'm pretty neutral when it comes to Project M, but that is one thing I'll say. The stage design was excellent in Project M. So cool. And the aesthetics, it's great. Stylistically, it's awesome.
Really nice DI by Devon there. He's really trying to put up that wall, but Sonic just keeps pushing through it. Chris really taking control of the stage this game.
Yeah.
He's pretty much going wherever he wants, and I think that... Wow, almost DI'd that, actually. Wow, almost DI'd that.
Got a couple fanboys sitting behind Chris and Devon who've never seen a caliber.
never seen, yeah, and that's one of the coolest things, at least when I went out to my first tournament, because I remember I used to come watch you play a long time ago, in like 2009, 2010, something like that, and I remember like thinking that I was pretty decent at the game, and that you were pretty good at the game.
Yeah.
And then we come out and see all of these players, and it's like a whole different level.
And it's also interesting because we weren't bad, and actually, the first tournament I went to, I actually placed because it was when the game was in its infancy.
Yep.
And I played Link, and no one knew what to do.
Yeah.
The GIMP game in general was much less evolved, and I was able to play a camp game, and I actually placed against Corrupted Fate. He was the one who used to host.
Played Fate. Played Pit.
Yes.
Sorry.
And we had a great match. And he commended me and he said, "Hey man, I've never seen you." He said it's really rare for someone to come out. It was a very small sales tournament. I got lucky actually because it built my confidence. And it was like a 12, maybe 8-person tournament, but I placed second or third, and so that's how I got immersed. And then I kind of came back as Brawl revived. I did as well. So.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Pokemon Stadium pick. I don't know what Chris banned. I would guess he would ban Pokemon Stadium. It's Devon. It's Devon's favorite map.
Why is it exactly?
He has a lot of good neutral game options. It's very wide, so it helps Toon Link a lot. He has a lot of very strange options off the ledge that he likes to go. He has the jumps off of the side of the on the inside of the ledge and everything.
Well, I definitely understand why you'd want it against Sonic. It makes sense.
Yeah.
When the terrain comes up, it kind of wrecks Sonic's game. Obviously, Chris knows how to deal with it.
Really nice, just a walk away back air by Devon there. It ceases to amaze me, these players, when instead of taking an option like to shield or to spot dodge or something like that. They simply just like walk to the side just a little bit.
The control of walking pace is actually something that gets overlooked a lot, and also the stand juke.
Yeah.
When you're in the neutral game,
you just walk up and stand
sit there, and you just stand there, and then time a grab or a smash.
Yeah, that's one of Devon's favorite things, is to just walk up to you, stand there, wait for you to react, and then punish what your reaction was. I have, he likes to watch for the spot dodges and everything like that, and then capitalize with the free grab options that Toon Link has, because Toon Link has a lot of very interesting grab options. He can capitalize very well on a lot of his grabs, but his grab is so hard to achieve because of the grapple grabs.
It's true. Although
very punishable.
It's easier to control where they land to grab them out of when you fill the air with projectiles, and that's how he kind of controls the spacing of the map. Often is he tells you where you cannot go, and he forces you to go into the alley where he wants you to.
Yep. And it's very interesting to me because people put a lot of emphasis on tech skill in these games. Like if you don't know all of your character's tech options and like all these advanced techniques and everything, how are you going to be successful? And I was talking to Chris in Colorado about it, and he says he actually knows very little about the advanced tech in this game.
It's interesting.
Very, very little. But he's
naturally
one of the most successful Brawl players in the Western United States.
Yep.
I've seen him have really good matchups against players like Z and Foe and all of those guys, and do very well, like surprisingly well, and even win a good majority of the matches. And he knows very little about the actual advanced tech of this game. So he told me. I don't know if that's actually true.
Maybe he's
maybe he's just trying to be a humble guy, But it really surprised me when I asked him. I was like, because I saw him beat an Ice Climbers in Colorado, and I said, man, how do you do that? It's such a terrible matchup for Sonic. And he said, you know what, like, I don't even know how to describe to you what I'm doing. I just kind of roll and jump around and just, like, wait for opportunities.
Well, honestly, even if you were very familiar with the tech and everything of this game, he does it so rapidly, so often, it would be hard to explain to even a practice Brawl player what goes down. It's more of just perceiving it and having an understanding as you watch it, but actually verbalizing it is kind of hard.
Yeah, especially on a character as fast as Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember... Just to show how fast Sonic truly is, I remember I joined the home run contest one time. And I was Sonic, and you can do two people. My buddy picked someone, and we waited. As soon as the countdown went, I took my Sonic and I sprinted down the home run path. And we waited, and he hit the home run at the last second. And Sonic actually went farther than the sandbag. That's how fast he is. And
really fast.
Even though foot speed isn't a huge thing in this game, when he is so much faster than every other character, that's one of the reasons he's so hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, there's a thread that I was looking at on Smashboards the other day. It was like the last character that you'd ever want to play competitively. And I would say 80% of the responses were Sonic.
That's odd to me.
Because he is hard. He's hard to play.
He's hard. He is hard.
Yeah.
Which
he's just so unique.
Which makes Chris's Sonic play that much more impressive.
Yeah.
However,
he's just so unique
in the
way that he plays.
But it does strike me as odd that people would say that, though. I would think that a Yoshi...
That was the other very popular response, was Yoshi.
Or a Ganondorf, Link,
yeah, well,
Zelda.
for the main purpose of just like how you... Not necessarily how the character is tiered or anything, or matchups or anything like that.
How you go about playing
on like the... on who would you like to play the least, no matter how good they are.
Maybe, I think perhaps it's because people perceive him as boring.
Yeah,
which is odd to me, because, I could see why you'd see him as boring.
He does kind of have the same moveset on, like, every single one of his moves. It's all just spinning to win.
And maybe it's just because we're spoiled by Chris's Sonics, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah, this is one of the more interesting matches to watch, is Sonic versus pretty much anyone, to see the way he controls Sonic so easily.
Toon Link has that back air down to a science.
Yeah, and right now,
that DI off the
I think this is losers semis. Losers semifinals, I think.
Toon Link down to his last stop.
Yeah, I think the winner of this game goes to top 4.
So person who wins is guaranteed a spot in the Comic-Con finals.
Yeah, Comic-Con finals. So At Comic-Con next week, we'll actually have we'll have winners and losers finals, followed by grand finals right after that. So,
good.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll actually do losers finals here, though. They might. But I think they were looking at the top 6 to go to Comic-Con. So I think that's going to be the case right now. Devon really capitalizing on that windmill.
Windmill can be your greatest friend or your worst enemy. Devon's, as we said before, he loves this map. He's obviously made it into an ally.
Yeah.
But he's got to play pretty much perfectly from here on out if he wants to pull out.
Yeah, and Chris can kind of just hang out, feel the match out right now. He is in the lead, so he doesn't care if it goes to time right now.
Nope.
So he can kind of just feel out the match, take some safe options like that right there, and just try to capitalize the best he can.
You know, it's interesting how much the spring comes into play.
Yeah, at the highest levels of play, it actually has a hitbox. So you'll see him when he matches up against Meta Knights and everything. He'll actually chase Meta Knights off the side of the stage and spring them on their way back. It's really funny to watch.
He'll try the spring to back air sometimes too, won't he?
Yeah. So he'll drop the spring on their head, and then if they try to get out of that, then he'll punish. So it's really interesting to watch.
Toon Link getting desperate at this point. He's got to try to.
Yeah, he's got a minute left to capitalize right now.
Air off of a
Toon Link on that edge, very dangerous though.
It's true. No.
He has a lot of options to capitalize on the edge down there. So the fact that Chris is going down there is actually very interesting.
Toon Link takes a bounce off the spring. As we get under a minute.
And Chris taking really safe options to make sure that Devon can't catch up. So we'll see the stage transition back, I believe, before time, but not with a lot of time left. Just over 40 seconds.
Which definitely favors Sonic once again. Well, not necessarily in this match. It's probably actually a Toon Link advantage. Less terrain to get in the way of projectiles.
And Chris seems to do this a lot as well, though. He'll lose game 1 and follow it up by doing really well on the next 2 games. So at this point, Chris can kind of just hang out in his invincibility. Unless something pretty crazy happens right now, it looks like this game is going to go.
I have seen Toon Link do the down smash ledge grab gimp, but it doesn't work against Sonic.
It doesn't work too well against Sonic.
He pulled it off against me, and all one time.
Really good tech read by Devon, but sadly it's not enough.
Great game.
Yeah, really good set.
Great set.
Yep. So that does it. In the top 4, I believe that we have Mars. We have Mars, X, IC, and I don't remember who the 4th player is. And then there's also Staz. Staz is in top 6 as well.
Who I played.
And either way, next week it's going to be really solid. I think that wraps up the Brawl section. So I think we're going to be getting Melee here momentarily.